involved in instigating and participating in the violent activity. And we are also seeing foreign actors playing all sides to exacerbate the violence.
That was Attorney General Bill Barr addressing the distinction between peaceful protesters and rogue groups participating in criminal activities. And as the DOJ works on prosecuting those breaking law, there are some on the left who think police agencies need to be scaled down and defunded. Check out this suggestion that was published in the left-leaning public magazine, The Atlantic. Defunding the police. America needs to rethink its priorities for the whole criminal justice system. It goes on to question, what are the police for and why are we paying for this? Holy smokes. Well, joining us now is the co-chair of Project 21, Stacy Washington. Stacy, thanks for joining us.
Sean, it's great to be with you.
So, I mean, what do you make of the idea that someone's questioning what are the police for? I think by 3 or 4 years old, you generally learn what the police officers do. I get that there are problems. We need to institute some reforms to make sure that what happens to George Floyd never happens again. But I don't understand how it's now become we're throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
So this is a part of an agenda. We've seen the inklings of this online many, many times. I wrote about this a few years ago for an NRA publication, Antifa, and this is all connected. The violence of Antifa, they're basically the mob action arm of the Democrats, the way they're going in and looting and burning cities of color, and now they want to turn their attention to the suburbs. This is all connected. So this call to defund police departments is because of corruption that was allowed to run rampant by Democrats. So when Democrats are in charge, when you vote for them, and then you get the results of that voting, you then want to go to even further extremes by getting rid of something that is a net good. We have over 1 million police officers in this country. They have over 1 billion interactions with civilians a year, and less than 1,000 people a year on average are killed by the police during these interactions. And remember, the majority of police shootings occur. You're twice as likely to be shot by the police if you're a white person than you are if you're a black person. And the majority of the shootings occur when the person who is being interacted with actually reaches for an officer's gun or somehow threatens the officer. The use of force continuum, which I always recommend people look up, is what governs the actions of the police. And so if you're wondering if police have gone above and beyond and if they're rogue actors and people who need to possibly be fired, then you look at the use of force continuum and you see the training that they've received, and then you can compare their actions to that. More importantly, Sean, I just want to point out that if you're wanting to make change with your police department, the people that you want to contact are your elected officials at the local level. So your mayor, your county executive, right, the commissioning board that is the oversight board for civilians for your police department. It's not President Trump, even though you may hate him. It's not him. It's not Ivanka. It's not any of the Trump family. It's a local person that you elected that your local tax dollars actually fund. So that has to be a part of this discussion.
Yeah. You know, Stacy, we're getting ready to enter our second week of protesting. You're the co-chair of Project 21. What is the path forward? How does America heal? What is that solution?
Well, I'm a woman of faith. So the first thing I say is every single church in America needs to be open right now. No restrictions, because if you can go out and burn and loot and protest peacefully, quote unquote, without a mask, shoulder to shoulder with no social distancing, then I should be able to get in my church and I should be able to call upon the name of my Lord in congregation form and praise him on a Sunday or a Wednesday or whatever other day of the week that I choose. As an American, that's my First Amendment right. It has been infringed upon in the name of protecting me, and that must immediately cease. President Trump said church is essential. He actually couldn't be more right. Even if you dislike him, if you're a person of faith, you know he hit the nail right on the head there. So the first thing is reopen the churches. The second thing is we have to stop treating this like what happened with those 4 rogue officers who, they're only still on the job because Amy Klobuchar declined to prosecute the one who put his knee on George Floyd's neck. So another Democrat responsible for deaths for Black people. I want to draw that connection. But there's only one thing that we can really look at here that we know for certain, and that is statistically supported, data supported. Police officers don't go around killing Americans every day. This was a rogue act. It was not a normal course of business. Now, Minnesota has a lot of corruption, but I go back to who runs it, Democrats. So let's be clear here. The way back to normalcy is for every person who's setting buildings on fire, throwing water bottles and concrete bottles at cops. Every one of them needs to be arrested and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. People who are peacefully protesting should be able to continue. That's the first step.
Well, that's great. And it's also interesting to know, I know we're out of time in this section, but it's amazing that city after city, seemingly according to reports, is letting all of these folks that have been arrested go free without any charges being brought. It's amazing to me. It does not send a very positive message about how we are dealing with this. But Stacy, thank you for being with us and sharing your perspective. I hope to have you back soon.
Thank you, Sean.
You bet. All right, up next, we're continuing our Blocked and Banned series about silencing conservative voices on social media platforms. And later, presumptive Democratic nominee Joe Biden, the man who wants to be our next president, declared, and get this down, that 1/6 of all Americans are not very good people. Did you get that? Because 1 out of 6 of you, no good. Is this his deplorables moment? We're going to break that down with political consultant Dick Morse. All that and more.